From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Weekly.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Weekly. We're glad you joined us for this look at what's happening in and around Troy University. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Troy's School of Accounting made an announcement Monday that helps put it and the Sorrell College of Business as a whole into an elite level among universities globally. Carissa Justice has more on the big announcement.
How many accreditations is too many? Well, if you ask Troy University's Sorrell College of Business, the limit may not exist. Tuesday morning, the College of Accountancy held a ceremony where they were presented with AACSB accreditation.
AACSB is recognized as the elite business school accreditation, peer review accreditation program in the world. To be accepted into this group of schools is a very important step for us, but also it's a very difficult and exhaustive type work that we've had to do through these years.
With this accreditation, Troy is able to further set itself apart from other schools around the world, as this honor is very prestigious.
With this accreditation, Troy is one of 189 schools in the entire world to have this distinguished honor.
But even with adding another accolade to their list, the College of Business is looking to the future.
I would hope they would just grow and be able to put their name on every corner of the world, and it'd be nice to see the numbers increase for students and for it to just keep growing as it is.
This accreditation is not the first AACSB accreditation bestowed upon this department. In addition to the School of Accountancy, the School of Business as a whole was accredited just last semester.
It says that Troy University is the real deal. Well, not just Troy University, but the School of Business and the School of Accountancy.
Carissa Justice, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Rosa Parks is widely known as the woman who helped spark the civil rights movement in America. Her famous arrest took place at a location where a museum named in her honor now stands. That museum spent Monday celebrating the civil rights icon's birthday through a variety of events. Cody Giles has more from our Montgomery News Bureau.
Rosa Parks was a civil rights activist who is widely known for her arrest setting off the beginning of the Montgomery bus boycott. Her legacy lives on through all of the people that seek to keep her views on life alive.
Well, today is Rosa Parks' birthday. It would have been the 106th birthday of Mrs. Parks. So we are celebrating the legacy of this brave woman, and all her life she was an advocate for equality, justice for everyone.
Troy University gave free admission to all people, not just Troy students, looking to view the museum today, as well as holding events that wouldn't normally be held.
We have live music today, we have complimentary admission all day, we have storytelling for children. We're going to be reading books from our collection of children's books in our gift shop, and we'll have the performers from Four Little Girls from the Alabama Shakespeare Festival. They will be performing at 4 o'clock for us.
Rosa Parks' contribution to society as a whole made her one of the largest civil rights leaders, much larger than this canvas behind me could ever portray.
This helped to really start that whole movement up, and she was seen as a really great figurehead for the movement. And in Montgomery, we're known as the cradle of the Confederacy and the birthplace of civil rights, and we need to celebrate all of that history.
Rosa Parks will live on in the hearts of all people who wish for true equality all around. Cody Giles, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Wednesday was one of the biggest days for Trojan football in the spring. It was National Signing Day, and to celebrate the newest class of Trojans coming to Troy, Coach Chip Lindsey spent some time with fans Wednesday night in the Vet. Stuart Bradley has the details.
Even though it's the spring, football still manages to take center stage. To celebrate National Signing Day, a party was held Wednesday night where Trojan fans had the opportunity to meet and interact directly with Coach Chip Lindsey and his coaching staff.
So I think it's important that, our fans get an opportunity to interact with our coaches, and it was a really good day, obviously, with the guys we brought in, and a good way to cap the day off.
Tonight was really that first introduction, so it was unique that we got to celebrate our signing class for next year, and had the opportunity to introduce our coaches to our fan base.
The voice of the Trojans, Barry McKnight, was also on stage where he talked to Troy's athletic director about some of the current sports going on during the spring and about the upcoming football season. And then Lindsey himself was brought onto the stage where he introduced the other members of his coaching staff and introduced Trojan fans to this year's signing class.
I think we met our needs like we wanted to, and obviously that's the number one thing. And then I think we brought in some players that can play and get on the field and maybe even help us in 2019.
And we've been able to add some guys who we really are excited about being part of the Troy family.
And now that the fans have been introduced to the new coaches and this year's signing class, the Trojans will practice throughout the spring and officially take the field in the fall. Stuart Bradley, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The hustle and bustle of campus got a little busier last weekend as the Sound of the South invited a few young musicians to university.
Students are not an unfamiliar sight at a public university, but this week there were definitely more of them than usual as high school band students from across the Southeast made their way to Troy University for a more in-depth look at music.
I really like playing in ensembles, and you get to play new music with people you've never met before. And that's really cool and really fun. So you don't have to rehearse too long, and you get to have a little concert at the end. It's really fun.
You know that sound of bands warming up to play? Well, that can be heard on campus as Troy's Sound of the South is hosting students in the Southeastern United States Honor Bands until Saturday, a chance for young musicians to explore their passion.
It helps me. It's like kind of an escape. Like if you're like having a bad day or something, you have music and it'll just like kind of go away.
Besides lessons from internationally recognized instructors, scholarship opportunities, and a chance to visit a college campus, students enjoyed the community of individuals with the same high level of interest for music as themselves.
It's definitely fun because you're with people who care. Like they wouldn't be here if they actually didn't care.
In your band at home, there might be people there that are like their parents force them to be there maybe, or they're not as passionate as you are. But if you're coming to an event like this and you're paying to be here, you know that everybody else is just as passionate as you are. Maybe they might be more passionate than you. So you can either look up to them or you can inspire them, or you might be on the same level as them to just have fun together and do the same things as each other.
We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll see how Troy University's Chinese students celebrated the new year. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
For over 70 years, Smokey Bear has asked you to use fire responsibly.
Fire is due to an unattended campfire. Go time.
Here's how you can stay on the front lines of preventing wildfires. Always watch your campfire. Before leaving, drown it, stir it, drown it again, and feel that the fire is out cold.
Oh, bullseye!
And you won't need a visit from these guys.
Copy that.
You can be Smokey's wingman when enjoying nature and prevent wildfires. Visit SmokeyBear.com for more fire prevention tips.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
The Sorrell College of Business is giving students the opportunity to learn about ways they can use what they're learning in the classroom in the real world through a speaker series that started Tuesday night. Sam Granville has the story.
It's time to geek out with the Sorrell College of Business's first Geek Speak of the semester Tuesday evening as the marketing and design clubs met together for an interactive lecture.
This was the opening session of the Geeks Speak. And it is a lecture series that we have in the Sorrell College of Business every spring. And Michael was our first speaker, and we'll have additional speakers throughout the spring.
Michael Borowski, who joined Troy students via video chat from San Francisco, is one of the founding partners of creative agency 11 based in San Francisco and gave students an introspective look into his career in marketing and design.
I'm always eager to reach out and just share a little bit about what I do, because I think people just don't get exposure to any industry that they're interested in, and the more I can help sort of clear up what we're all about, I think is good for us and good for the people out there.
Broski spoke on his experiences in marketing and design as well as the work of his agency and even answered questions from the students to allow for a professional interactive experience.
Follow what you're interested and curious in, and I think you'll find, you can have that balance of life and work that I think eludes most people out there in the world.
The Marketing and Design Club have been working together since last semester on student-driven projects to help integrate the two studies and how they coexist.
So this is an opportunity for the marketing students to learn from the design students and the design students to learn from the marketing and working together.
Sam Granville, Troy TrojanVision News.
Going to graduate school to continue their education is a potential option for college students. The Department of Chemistry gave students a look at one of those opportunities while also educating about plastics. Aaron Dixon has that story.
An opportunity to learn about grad school and to learn about another way to use chemistry. On Wednesday, the chemistry department welcomed in Dr. Subramanian from the University of Southern Mississippi to discuss grad school and polymer science.
His graduate programs at the university where I work. Thing two is research specifically in my group. There's a constant need for materials that are not as strong as metals, but at the same time not as weak as fluids. So we like to have properties somewhere in between. And polymer science is the study of those sorts of materials.
Dr. Subramanian also provided students with an insight about what grad schools are looking for outside of experience.
We can teach the students things, but if they're not motivated enough to want to go to grad school, then any teaching would not be well spent.
Subramanian was able to discuss where polymer science is going in the future and show the new way of looking at polymers through computers.
The idea behind it was dealing with like polymers and stuff, plastics and rubbers and all that, but what's really interesting is they decided to, instead of just doing the experiments, they're running it through computer simulations. Major way to save money, time, effort, all that kind of stuff. And they're meeting certain problems that are keeping them from advancing, that they're trying to find solutions around and all that kind of stuff. As a person who first got their associates, went into the workforce dealing with computers, that's a really interesting topic for me.
The chemistry department at Troy are working on creating a department for polymer science that is modeled after Southern Mississippi's department, and it will allow students to progress their careers in the world of polymers. Aaron Dixon, Troy, TrojanVision News.
While most of the world celebrated New Year's on the 1st of January, New Year's celebrations come a little later in many Asian nations like China. So last Thursday, Troy University's Chinese students brought one of their home country's biggest holidays to campus. Daisy Ling has that story.
Chinese New Year is the first day of the Chinese lunar calendar. It is not only a traditional Chinese festival, but also a symbol of Chinese culture. The Chinese New Year celebration was held by Chinese students in School Association on second floor of TC.
I am always really impressed by the CSSA's ambition. They put on a really good show this year. Overall, the performances, the dancing, the singing was all so good, and I really look forward to being here next year.
We asked several attendees how they felt about this event.
I really enjoyed the food, the performances, just the whole atmosphere was really awesome.
I've never been to China, or this is my first time that I can experience Chinese culture, so I really enjoy it.
We also asked some people how they think this event helps the students at Troy, both local and international.
I think for Chinese students, they can have an event like they are in home and they celebrate Chinese New Year. For American students, they can enjoy kind of exploring Chinese culture and connect with Chinese students. And I think this event benefits both sides.
The director said many difficulties were encountered in the preparation, but fortunately they were overcome.
Some performers will get sick during the rehearsing. Several times, like the microphones, they burned. The music, the accompaniment, are always like with a great noises.
The Chinese New Year celebration was well received and achieved great success. Daisy Lin, Troy TrojanVision News.
Students roam the Troy campus every day with a chance to learn about their future career paths, but what if they actually want to go to Rome or Vietnam, Japan, or Spain? As Yolanda Allen shows us, students can have the world at their fingertips thanks to a study abroad fair held this week.
Troy University's Study Abroad program held a fair in the Trojan Center food court to show students how they can explore different countries.
Troy University offers two different ways to study abroad. One is through our faculty-led programs, and those tend to be 10 days to 2 or 3 weeks. And then we also have exchange partners where you can go for a full semester. If you decide you want to go for a semester, we find a school that offers the classes that you need, because you have to go and take a full load just like you would if you were here at Troy. And those classes have to apply to your programs.
If a student chooses to take part of the student exchange program, paying for tuition wouldn't be so much different.
However you're paying for your tuition now is how you will pay for your tuition that semester. And then if you have any other financial aid, loans, Pell Grant, you can use that money to help pay for your housing and your meals.
Troy University Study Abroad program does offer a $1,000 scholarship. However, there is a requirement to follow.
The main one right now is you have to have a GPA of 2.5 or higher. And then when you return, you have to do a presentation for me to help spread the word about study abroad. And you have to do a written report, and you have to do an evaluation of your program.
Although not all study abroad trips are for a college credit, most majors can study abroad. Yolanda Allen, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, rock, paper, scissors took over the quad. We'll show you why coming up right after this.
We go and clear the roads looking for IEDs. We're encapsulated in those vehicles, and we get blast wave injuries very easily inside of those things. I'm actually diagnosed with PTSD and multiple cases of mild traumatic brain injury. But I was brought up, drive on, don't let your soldiers see that anything's wrong. But I started to realize that I wasn't the same guy. Having more bad days than good days set in more and more after each deployment and each injury. When I finally realized that I needed professional help, the switch for me was my family. And my wife, Tanya, thank God, she's open and honest with me and hounded me enough times to where I did go and get treatment. And I'm so happy that I sought the treatment, because I know that if I hadn't, there's no way I'd be a first sergeant right now. I know that if I hadn't said help, I would have remained helpless. I definitely think that soldiers are stronger when they realize they have a problem and they ask for help.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
This week, Troy's Alpha Omicron Pi sorority held a number of events designed to help bring awareness to arthritis. And Wednesday afternoon, the awareness involved throwing around some balloons. Nick Brooks has the details.
Alpha Omicron Pi has been raising money for their philanthropy this week, and Wednesday they held a water balloon toss outside of the Trojan Center. AOPI was raising money for the Arthritis Foundation.
We're having an event called Throw Some Color on Arthritis. It's a colored water balloon toss, and we are throwing right over here to raise money for the Arthritis Foundation. There's several different types of arthritis, including juvenile arthritis. The Arthritis Foundation raises funds for research and different activities, especially for children affected by arthritis.
The idea for the event was tossed around.
My committee actually suggested this idea because I thought it would be something different and colorful and fun, especially on this cloudy day.
Troy student Slade James volunteered to be the target to help entice people to throw water balloons.
It feels good, but then it feels bad. But overall it feels good, because why bother taking a shower?
James took the hits from the water balloons willingly for the cause.
It's absolutely worth it. Like, I can't imagine the pain that I feel, how it compares to what people with arthritis suffer through.
AOPI's next event will be Scooping Out Arthritis, which is an ice cream bar from 6 to 7 Thursday night. Oh, that was a good one. Nick Brooks, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The Student Government Association officer elections are coming up, and while which executive officer to vote for will be an important choice, the SGA gave students another set of options on Wednesday, and it's a question that has plagued mankind for generations: rock, paper, or scissors. Brady Talbert shows us why.
5 minutes. Now that is how long the Student Government Association's latest event lasted. The group sparked friendly competition between students, and it was all as simple as rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
3, 2, 1.
When the clock hit 11:50 on Wednesday, students were called from their classrooms to participate in a rock, paper, scissors tournament out on the Bibb Graves Quad. The SGA refers to the event as Quad Time. Simply put, a time for students to spontaneously interact.
The purpose of hosting events like this is to just create some more unity within students. You know, take out your earphones, walk into class, come together with somebody you don't know, and playing a rock paper scissors game against them. It just adds to the family aspect on campus, creates more Trojan pride and just unity between students.
The group of participants slowly dwindled until only 2 remained. The Nostalgic Kids game was not just child's play, though, as a monetary reward was just at students' fingertips, literally.
What was up for grabs was a $20 gift card to Chick-fil-A, which, if you're familiar with students, is a very coveted prize. People were foaming at the mouth to get it. It was quite awesome.
Simon says that while the SGA has yet to announce the next quad time, you can expect another interactive game soon.
We had a lot of suggestions for Simon Says, so look out for Simon Says quad time next time.
The organization will be out on the quad again Thursday from 11 to 1, giving out goodies at a softball swag tent. On the Bibb Graves quad, Brady Talbert, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
A singer-songwriter who gained national attention on America's Got Talent made a stop in Troy Monday night. Mandy Harvey was a finalist on the show. However, as Nick Brooks shows us, the singer succeeded on the show and in the music industry, all while being completely deaf.
Mandy Harvey is a singer and songwriter who lost her hearing to Ehlers-Danlos syndrome when she was 18. Harvey's story has inspired many people.
It was all part of stages. It's not something that you just wake up, you're like, okay, my life just changed, let's go. But it was more, okay, I need to figure out who I am now and what my life really looks like.
Although Harvey lost her hearing, she has found a new way to feel the music.
It's just like little sparks started to fly because I was paying attention to the vibrations. And I was like, you know, the music is still there. It's just different, and I'm the one who's given up on it. It didn't go away.
Harvey's stay in Troy was short as she is on tour, but did have a few things to say.
I loved performing in Troy. This place is amazing. The people are amazing. They're just really warm and really friendly, and it's a very calm vibe. Just it's like you're almost home.
Jesselyn Dudinsky is a music major at Troy University and heard about Harvey and her story and says she wanted to see her perform.
I was absolutely stunned and amazed at how great of a singer she is. It's really cool to think about how music feels instead of how music sounds.
Mandy Harvey has a bigger message for her audience than just a concert.
The goal, the hope for me when I'm performing is that we have a moment where we can disengage from all of the worry, disengage from all of the stress and those barriers that we hit again and again and again, and we get to realize that together we can smash them down, we can get over it, we can figure out different solutions, and we can find a way to smile through it all.
Nick Brooks, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Troy's dance program is celebrating its 10th anniversary with a retrospective performance later this month. We'll learn more about the show in this week's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. With me today is Adrian Hicks and Lily Everett, here to talk about dance and 10 years celebrating dance here at Troy. Thank you both for joining me here today.
Thanks for having us.
And as I mentioned, performance coming up. It seems just like yesterday that dance came to Troy, and you were here as a part of that, Adrian. But now we're celebrating the 10-year anniversary with a special show. Tell us a little about the show that folks can check out to see this background of dance here at Troy.
Yes, absolutely. It's called Together We, which has a lot of different meanings. But one of the things that we're most excited about is that we have several alumni, 11, I think actually, coming back to perform in the show with us. And it's all of the pieces are resurrected from sometime over the past 10 years. So we have alumni jumping into different performances alongside our current students. So it's just going to be really neat to have those people back on campus performing together again, and then of course performing with the phenomenal dancers that we have in the program now.
And I know you still dance to this day, but is that the case for all the alumni that are coming back? Are they still active dancers?
That is a good question. Yes, all of the ones that are performing are currently performing professionally or teaching professionally, but we have a ton of alumni that will be in the audience throughout the weekends, some of which are still dancing professionally, some are doing other things, but the ones performing are still dancing professionally.
Well, that's good. I hate to bring someone off the bench and try to get back into full-blown dancing after a few years not doing it anymore. But let me talk about as a current student, how does it make you feel, one, to be a part of this celebration, and then to be dancing with some of these alums in this performance?
I'm just so excited and blessed that I get to be dancing here at Troy, knowing this history, 10 years, and I think it's an awesome way to celebrate and just to remember and be grateful for the hard work and dedication and passion that's gone into this dance program in Troy, Alabama, and just the incredible talent that's come out of it. Adrian's an awesome testament, and the 11 other dancers that are coming back, I'm just so excited to meet them and work with them because they're doing what I want to be doing one day. So I'm very excited to start conversations with them and make connections.
So 10 years of history in one show, I would think that there's going to be a wide variety of styles of dance in that performance. What can folks expect out of the show? So
I think there's a little bit of everything. We've got jazz, we've got ballet, we've got point, we've got contemporary, we've got good old lyrical, we've got hip hop. Yeah, we don't have tap in this show.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know, but I think other than that, we've got several musical theater pieces. We have some of our theater students performing with us, which has been a big part of this program. So yeah, it's got a wide variety.
A little bit of everything. So a taste of everyone out there. And how many pieces total are we looking at in this show?
16?
16 or 17.
16 different dances. So, so you're definitely getting your entertainment's worth out of this show if you check it out. And each of you, how many are you dancing in of these?
I am performing in 5.
5. And for you?
And 4.
And 4. So now the next question is, what's your favorite piece of this? So obviously, there's got to be one that you got to pull out. What would you say your favorite is, Adrian?
It's hard. It's really hard because so many of the ones that we're doing are just bring back such wonderful memories, and it's so neat to see them performing those. But I think I would have to go with Imagine, which is the first piece that we ever performed, and I think, if I'm correct, the first performance that we ever did was Faculty Convocation 2008, and so that was our first ever performance, and it was Imagine, and then we performed it many more times. Over those
I've seen it a few times over the years here at Troy. So, and same question to you, Lily. What would you say is your favorite piece coming out of this?
I really love Imagine because I'm excited to dance with the alumni in that, but I would say for me as a dancer, it would be Boxes, which is very exciting, and I think the audience will really enjoy because it's athletic and it's artistic, and there's a lot of skill, but we try to make it look like it's the easiest thing to lift a wooden box and spin with it. So I'm just excited to perform that piece that's been done before.
Well, now for anyone that we've kind of whet their appetite here and they're interested in going to the show, give us a little bit of details on the location and how they can get tickets and all that stuff. So.
It's February 21st through 23rd at 7 o'clock in the Trojan Center Theater, and then the 24th at 2:30 also in the TC Theater.
All right, and how can they get tickets?
TroyTheater.org, or you can go to the box office, which is by Barnes & Noble.
All right, and how much are tickets for the show?
$10 for adults and then $5 student discount. And if you check out our social media, we have some discounts and flash ticket sales going on there. So make sure to follow at Troy Theater Dance.
All right, well, here's hoping that folks check out the show, and it sounds like fun. And like I said, bringing back some of these oldies, looking forward to maybe coming back and seeing something that was an old favorite of the dance program.
Yeah,
thanks for joining us here today.
Absolutely, thanks, Aaron.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's what happened this week. To find out what's happening day to day, you can tune in to Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Friday, or anytime by following us on Twitter at Troy TV News. Also, feel free to like our Troy TrojanVision News fan page on Facebook to see online content from Troy TrojanVision News, including many of the stories you saw today. We hope you join us again next week for another edition Troy, Trojan Vision Weekly. We hope you have a good week.